Shakespeare was baptized at the Holy Trinity Church on April 26, 1564. It was assumed that his birthday was on April 23rd, 1564, because back then it was a tradition to get yourself baptized 3 days after.
Shakespeare died on his 52nd birthday, ending the life and career of a phenomenal playwright and poet.
Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet early in his career, between 1594 and 1595.
His wife's name was Anne Hathaway.
At a young age, William Shakespeare bought himself into the acting company King Chamberlain's Men. William Shakespeare was believed to have 37 pieces, but some would argue otherwise.
I bet you're wondering how William Shakespeare became so successful. Shakespeare became a sharer in Chamberlain's Men. He knew the actors personally, so he could make the parts for all 8 of the leading players specific to them. This allowed him to create physically distinct characters in a way that hadn't been done before. Sometimes he'd even use the names of actors instead of the characters in the text.
William Shakespeare was regarded as one of the greatest writers in the English language. It is not known exactly when Shakespeare began writing, but records of performances show that several of his plays were on the London stage by 1590. A factor that contributed to Shakespeare's success was his tremendous vocabulary, which included 17 to 34,000 words. Shakespeare coined several phrases, such as, "We'd better lie low for a while," and "he was dead as a doornail." Another is, "they hoodwinked us." Some words that Shakespeare came up with were accommodation, assassination, dexterously, dislocate, obscene, reliance, and premeditate.
William Shakespeare was wealthy and owned one of the largest homes in his hometown of Stratford.
Although Romeo and Juliet was one of William Shakespeare's most famous plays and is still a popular play today, back in the 1600s, many playwrights would change the play up and make different versions of it. For example, The History and Fall of Caius Marius, set in Augustan Rome, Otway transforms the play to revolve around 2 opposing senators who are fighting for political control. According to WhatCulture.com, most untrue Shakespeare fans believe that he worked alone. As with most playwrights in his period, it was not unusual for Shakespeare to work in partnership with other writers. So that is untrue. He worked with many people, usually.